Nuclear weapons did not end war. Between 1945 and 2023, over 250 armed conflicts killed more than 25 million people. Most occurred between nuclear powers and non-nuclear opponents, or between smaller nations where nuclear states saw no reason to intervene. The weapons changed who could fight whom under what conditions, but wars continued at the same frequency as before. The belief confuses the absence of one specific conflict, direct superpower invasion, with the absence of war itself. Nuclear powers fought the largest wars. The United States waged Korea and Vietnam while holding nuclear weapons. The Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan with the world's largest arsenal. China fought India and Vietnam. France and Britain conducted colonial wars in Algeria, Malaya, and Suez while building bombs. Possession did not prevent years-long conventional campaigns. It prevented one narrow scenario: territorial invasion between superpowers. Proxy wars, coups, and interventions continued everywhere else. Deterrence theory assumed rational actors, symmetric values, and perfect communication under crisis. None held consistently. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, Soviet submarine officers were authorized to launch nuclear torpedoes without Moscow if they believed they were under attack. One submarine came within a single vote of firing. The system nearly failed, not because leaders wanted war, but because deterrence contained structural weaknesses theory didn't account for. The absence of nuclear exchange is evidence catastrophe was avoided, not that it was impossible. Limited wars escalated because nuclear powers assumed they could fight without triggering retaliation. The USSR crushed Hungary in 1956 and invaded Czechoslovakia in 1968 without fearing NATO's response. The United States expanded in Vietnam, assuming China and the USSR wouldn't escalate over Southeast Asia. Both were correct. The nuclear threshold became a ceiling beneath which violence could be conducted safely. Wars didn't end, they relocated. The conditions preventing World War III existed before widespread nuclear arsenals. By 1945, Europe was exhausted, economically destroyed, and occupied by two powers with no shared border disputes. Colonial empires were collapsing. The ideological divide created clear spheres of influence. Even without nuclear weapons, another European war would have required resources and political will that no longer existed. Nuclear weapons reinforced this stalemate, but did not create it. Non-nuclear states fought constantly, while nuclear powers watched. India and Pakistan fought 4 wars. Iran and Iraq fought for 8 years. Ethiopia and Eritrea, Armenia and Azerbaijan. The Arab-Israeli wars alone killed tens of thousands. Deterrence applied only to conflicts threatening nuclear states directly. Everywhere else, wars continued as before. If nuclear weapons truly ended war, they failed universally outside their owners' immediate interests. Restraint was inconsistent. The United States considered nuclear use in Korea in 1950, Taiwan in 1954, and Vietnam in 1968. The Soviet Union deployed tactical warheads to East Germany and weighed their use during the Sino-Soviet border conflict. These options were abandoned because leaders judged costs too high in each instance, not because deterrence was automatic. The belief that nuclear weapons removed war as an option ignores how often it remained on the table. Nuclear weapons created caution, not pacifism. Leaders avoided direct superpower confrontation, but accepted enormous risks in proxy wars and crises. The Cold War saw multiple near misses: Able Archer in 1983, the Norwegian rocket incident in 1995, false alarms in early warning systems. Each time, individuals made judgment calls, preventing catastrophe. Calling that the end of war overstates the stability of what was prevented. Wars adapted to a world where great powers avoided direct conflict but accepted violence everywhere else. From Korea to Afghanistan to Yemen, the nuclear age saw uninterrupted warfare, much enabled by nuclear states pursuing interests beneath the threshold of retaliation. The belief survives because it focuses on what didn't happen, World War III, while ignoring what did. Most people still believe nuclear weapons made the world safer. The body count suggests otherwise.